Hello and good morning. In this 6th International Conference on Industrial, Mechanical, Electrical, and Chemical Engineering 2020, we would like to present our paper and study about gas turbine hidden capacity recovery by inlet air filter variation method to produce clean and efficient energy. The authors of this paper are Okwaldu Purba and Ferdiansyah Zhultriza. Chapter 1 Introduction. Electricity demand in Indonesia will increase, so the power plant should be able to produce electricity in efficient way and more reliable. Take example on the combined cycle power plant in Muara Karang, Jakarta, that using F-Series Gas Turbine, which has 250 megawatts. In the actual performance, the power produced by power plants can be decreased and different from its initial power capacity. Thus, there will be hidden capacity. The hidden power capacity happens because of the decrease in power plant performance, specifically the efficiency of the compressor gas turbine that operates continuously. We can see in this figure compressor outlet temperature that represented in black lines in this figure are increased, and the compressor efficiency decrease that represented with red lines, and thus the hidden capacity occurs. The compressor efficiency decrease happens because scaling occurs in compressor leg. It happens because particles with the size of less than 10 micrometers infiltrate into the compressor. It happens because of the air impurities and pure air filtration. Air filtration system in inlet air filter gas turbine, we can say it is deficient. The specification of existing inlet air filter in F-Series Gas Turbine can only filtrate particles with a size of more than 10 micrometers. So the filter modification in gas turbine inlet air filter might be the one solution needed to overcome hidden capacity. Chapter 2 Literature Review. As we know before, the existing conventional filters can only filter particles with the size of more than 10 micrometers. So we need a better filtration method. We can say that in here we can use the High Efficiency Particulate Air filters, or we call it HEPA filter, that can filter the particle with a size of less than 1 micrometers. At the right section, the governing equation that used in this paper are compressor efficiency, compressor work, and turbine efficiency. Chapter 3 Inlet Air Filter Variations. The methods of inlet air filter variations are air quality measurement, type of air filters, filter configuration, and pressure difference modeling. We measure the air quality and pollutant distribution in Muara Karang, Jakarta. Particles with a size of less than 10 micrometers have approximately 45% in pollutant distribution. The 45% consists of 25% for the particles less than 1 micrometers and 20% for the particle less than 10 micrometers. So a better air filtration system is needed to filtrate those particles. The type of air filters, we can separate particles size in 3 distribution. We might use the coalescer, bag filter, and HEPA filter in this type of filters. The main filters are HEPA filter, coalescer, and bag filters as a secondary filters that place at the front of main filter. The filter configuration. The conventional inlet air filter configuration can only filtrate particles with the size of more than 10 micrometers. So the particles with the size of less than 10 micrometers can infiltrate into the compressor plate. The next one is one layer HEPA filter configuration. This configuration can filter particles with the size of more than 0.01 micrometers. But the main filter in this one is HEPA filter will get dirty quickly. And the last one is for the HEPA filter and pre-filters configurations. This configuration can filter particles with a size of more than 0.01 micrometers. And the main filter in this one is HEPA filter will be protected because pre-filters are reversible materials. Pressure difference modeling, or PDM, of existing conventional filter and one layer HEPA filter is lower than the HEPA filter and pre-filters at the early time. But as the time goes by, as the F-Series gas turbine continuously works to produce electricity, the pressure difference becomes higher. and the conventional filter and the HEPA filters need to be replaced. But if you're using the HEPA filter and pre-filters, HEPA filters as the main filters, no need to get replaced. We can just use to wash the pre-filters because of the rewashable materials of the coalescer. Chapter 4. Implementation results and analysis. Implementation and analysis will consist of compressor pressure discharge, net power capability, net plant heat rate, inlet air filter, differential pressure, and compressor efficiency. Compressor pressure discharge that using in the conventional filter represented with black lines are higher at the early time than the combination of HEPA filters and pre-filters that represented with red lines. The compressor pressure discharge with the HEPA filter and pre-filters are more stable in this figure. The CPD for the conventional filters are decreased as the time goes by until it reaches the minimum point, and at this time the offline bed washing is performed. When offline bed washing is performed, the F-Series gas turbine must be in offline mode, so the electricity is not produced at this time point. The net power production capability is also the same. The net power production capability that using HEPA filter and pre-filters are more stable than the conventional filters. Net plant heat rate for the HEPA filter and pre-filters are more stable than the conventional filters. The net plant heat rate that using HEPA filters and pre-filters are represented with blue lines. The inlet air filter differential pressure for the HEPA filter and pre-filters are represented with red lines in this figure. You can see that the inlet air filter differential pressure are higher than the conventional filters, but as the time goes by, we can restore it to its initial point by rewashing the coalescer. The last one is for the outlet temperature and the efficiency of compressor. The efficiency of the compressor for the HEPA filter and pre-filters represented with blue lines are more stable than the conventional filters that represented with red lines. The outlet temperature compressor that using HEPA filter and pre-filters are represented with green lines are more stable than the conventional filter that represented with black lines. Chapter 5. Conclusion. Air filter modification of F-Series gas turbine using HEPA filter and pre-filters is implemented to recover hidden capacity in power plant. Air filter modification in inlet filter F-Series gas turbine can affect the ability of the power plant unit to operate more stable and the reliability can be maintained. The implementation of air filter modification in F-Series gas turbine using HEPA filter and pre-filters can maintain power plant reliability, thus it can recover the hidden capacity that occurs when using conventional existing filters. Thank you for your attention.